I wanted to show you 2 points. Both of them are on the gallbladder meridian. One is called Gallbladder 20, the wind pool, and one is called Gallbladder 21, so they're pretty close to one another. Gallbladder 20, I'm going to show you a turnaround, is also called the wind pool, and it's found just underneath the occipital bone. So just underneath that bony bit of your skull, if you want to palpate yourself, you're going to take your thumbs and you'll feel that you fall off that bone, and there's that kind of ridge underneath that big skull bone, either side the spine. So have a little feel. You might feel those little divots, the thumbs dip in a little. And you could as well use your thumbs here to apply a bit of a massage. And as you press those thumbs in and you turn the head a little, notice how it feels underneath the thumbs. Is it very ropey? Can you feel some tender tissues? Just have a feel. So this is the first area that I want to roll on, and we're going to use a block for that one. The second area we're going to roll on, I'm going to stay in this position, is called Gallbladder 21, as I mentioned before, and that point is usually between the corner of neck and shoulder and the tip of the shoulder. So in between, halfway, a little bit behind that upper rim of the shoulder. So just a tiny bit behind. So it's not much, but a little bit. So it's these kind of structures here. You can also take your fingers and have a little bit of a feel. Coming in from the shoulder. There might be some tender spots there that you can feel. So we don't have to be right on those specific spots. We can also just roll around, because what we do with the rolling and the sinking into either the balls or the block is that we compress some of those tissues, but we also roll a little bit of those tissues, and that really helps with, first of all, circulation, but also to release some stiffness, some adhesions, and it will just feel really nice and spacious afterwards, hopefully. So we'll combine those parts, or the rolling parts, with a little bit of Yin Yoga. It's probably not as long and deep as usually in a Yin class, but as I said, you can just extend this for yourself at home. So let's come to that first rolling of Gallbladder 20 area, so this occipital ridge. We want to use a yoga block. I usually place it on this kind of height, so the second height, and I want to place that ridge underneath the bony part, right on that edge here. So therefore I come all the way onto my back, and then I'm going to place my head down so that this edge is on the block. The neck is completely free. And then take a moment to allow the body to sink back. The head, the whole weight of the head to sink into that block. And maybe you can tuck the chin a little. So now you're kind of leaning with that edge into the edge of the block. Allow the weight to do its job, to allow a little bit of compression of those tissues before you take the head a little bit over to the left. Go all the way and then gently roll back to center, going over to the other side, back to center. Now let's go halfway over to the left, only halfway. And let's stay at this place and draw some tiny circles with the nose. So as if you wanted to rub something into that point that we're just massaging. Beautiful. So you can do that with any tight or tender spot that you find along this way. And then I return to center. Always remember to exhale deeply. And we roll over to the right halfway only. And we're going to draw those little circles with the nose. Return to center. Feel free to roll a little bit more if that feels good for you. If that feels like you're freeing up some space there. And then we gently release that block from underneath. Rest the head back for a moment. Just taking a moment to feel into those tissues. And then from here, we're going to use our balls. So if you don't have those myofascial balls, feel free to use tennis balls. They're totally fine as well. And they're often more grippy on the surface of the skin, because these ones often just slip off. So I'm going to place those balls, where I mentioned before, halfway between the tip of the shoulder and the corner of the neck, a little bit behind the rim of the shoulder. On one side and on the other side. So, great. So if I have them now like this, I don't really feel much. That's why we lift up the seat. So lifting up the seat and then placing a block underneath. So maybe you want to put, that right ball doesn't really want to sit where I want it to sit. Maybe you want to put the seat up a little bit higher, even on the second height of the block. And you'll notice the higher you bring the seat, the more weight that presses now back into the balls. So now with my weight pushing into the balls, I can get quite a nice little compression of that point, of the gallbladder 21 area point. So we're not overly specific, but we're in that area where it feels really nice to apply a little bit of pressure. Beautiful. And again, really using that breath to release a little tension, sink in a little bit more. Now maybe this is totally enough for you and you want to stay here a little bit longer, or maybe you want to take your arms up and see how that changes the sensation. Maybe moving those arms as if you have a giant steering wheel between the hands. Just adding a little bit of a massage to those points. Or maybe you want to take the arms over your head. This can get quite strong, especially if you have the arms all the way over your head. You can also go one arm at a time. And then taking 2 or 3 more breaths, sinking. And then we release those balls from those points. lifting the seat off that block, bringing everything back down. Let the knees knock in for a moment and just feel into that space. And let's roll the head a little from side to side. Maybe you want to do the same with the legs, a little windscreen wipe here. And then let's come all the way back up. So hopefully you can feel a little bit of some spaciousness, openness around neck, upper neck, shoulder area. Let's take a little neck stretch to increase that space a little bit more. So now that left hand can come behind you. You can either tuck the hands or the fingers, I should say, into the top of your pants. Or maybe you want to come into a loose bind, holding onto the upper arm, bringing that behind you, or resting the right hand on your thigh there. And then all I do is tip my head over to the right. So right ear over right shoulder. So now allowing that left shoulder to sink, to be heavy, and the head to be really heavy over as it's leaning to the right. Relaxing the belly. Now notice that little opening in the side of the neck as you stretch it there. Now let's trace that stretching sensation in the side of the neck as we slowly turn the chin a little over to the right, as if the chin wants to look over to the right knee. And then let's roll that chin gently and slowly down, all the way into the chest. Let the head hang, release the back hand, bring both hands on the thighs. And then really slowly lift the head back up. Can you lift that chin up towards the ceiling? Take a big breath in, feel that stretch in the throat. And exhale, bring the head back upright. Feeling now into the left side, right side. Let's do the same for the other side because it feels nice. The right hand comes behind you, either tucking the fingers in the top of the pants or take hold of your left arm. Keep it hanging behind you, like so. Or bend that arm and bring hand onto thigh. So now we're going to lean left ear over left shoulder. The right shoulder is really heavy, weighing down. And we're creating all that space now in the right side seam of that neck. Keeping the belly relaxed, head heavy. Tracing the sensation in the side of the neck on the right side now. I'm going to slowly start to turn the chin down towards left knee. And as you tilt or turn the head ever so slowly, notice the sensation in the side of the neck. And start to roll the chin down all the way into the chest. Let the head hang there. Release the back hand. And then let's round the whole spine. And as you slowly come back up, take a breath in and reach that chin up towards the ceiling. Exhale to return. Beautiful. Let's conclude with the forward fold. Bringing the soles of the feet together. I'm going to slide my feet a little bit further forward so I have a little bit of a diamond shape in the legs. So now for this butterfly forward fold, my main focus is to let that head hang forward as I round the spine. That's why I will not use any props for this one. So I'm just going to slide my hands forward. If you can't come forward as much, you can always use props, the hands or the forearms, on whatever height you would like. And then at some stage, start around the spine, let the head hang. So I will put those blocks to the side and walk my hands a little forward, and even cupping the toes, and then around my spine. Allow the head to be super heavy as it's hanging forward. Can you relax the shoulders and feel all the space opening up in the back body? Let's take 3 more rounds of breath, an effortless, gentle breath. Now from here we start to mobilize the fingers in a very gentle way, no rush. We're coming back to the surface. Now if you feel that you want to rest back, take another moment here on your back. Stay as long as you like, feeling into the tissues of the body. Notice how everything has slowed down a little. Now feel free to stay here a little longer. I will roll out into a seat. I say thank you for practicing with me. I hope you feel a little bit more spacious around the head neck area. And I see you next time.